Okay, so first of all, in order to sell on stage, you've got to make an irresistible offer. So this is what I do. I am going to give you an irresistible offer that you cannot say no. How many of you have seen this kind of offer before? If you do, comment below. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is actually the exact meaning of irresistible. But before I do that, can you do me a favor? Okay, so there's a subscribe button. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I want you to help me out. Click the subscribe button so that this content can reach out to more people. And if you can help me also press the bell notification, you'll be absolutely fantastic, because that will help you get notified of any future videos that I've uploaded. Okay, so what is irresistible offer? An irresistible offer is an offer that is no-brainer. But what is no-brainer? It simply puts, you cannot refuse. You cannot say no. Obviously, you can say no. Why? Because when you say no, and the only reason you will say no to an irresistible offer is because you do not see that offer will solve your problem. Okay, so the assumption is that you got to understand the word irresistible is no-brainer to you when you feel that this offer will help you solve your problem. Okay, that is the starting point. Because people ask, so Jack, I use your principle and create irresistible offer, why people don't buy? You see, in the first place, are these people your right audiences? No. There you go. You can create an irresistible offer to the vegetarians, and your offer is about making the best burger. Do you understand? Like, I like to crack all this joke on stage. Like, you can be an awesome creator of a hamburger recipe, but in your room they are all vegetarians. So no matter how irresistible offer is, they will not buy. Okay, so that's not the right offer. All right. So coming back, what is irresistible? What is no-brainer? You have to see that the value that they get from your offer is too much as opposed to the price they pay, or you can call it the investment they pay. So the principle is this: when you make an offer, let's say your investment price, we don't call it price, like T.R. Becker will call it something else, Blessing will call it something else, but the common people understand the word price, so I just use the word price for this. So if let's say you've got an offer and you want to ask for $1,000, you've got to make sure that people look at your price, 1,000, and the things that they get is very different. Because guess what? When you exchange your product, your service for money, you've got to give your target audience a value that is way above $1,000. So let's say your price is 1,000. There's a cardinal rule in the world of stage closing that when you want to ask for $1,000, you've got to provide minimum 2.3 times of the value of the price that you ask for. Or some people will say you've got to offer 10 times more. Of course, the higher the value it is, the likely the offer is called no-brainer offer. So if let's say your value is $100,000 and you offer for $1,000, that is pretty no-brainer if this is the right offer to the people. Now, coming back, you have seen some people on stage actually craft the offer that way. They say that, okay, now you say, let's look at the value of this program. The value is $3,000. The value is $30,000. Now, this is a very big mistake, in my opinion, for people who just anyhow whack a value, because many years ago, I did that. So again, it's not something that I make up. I actually did that because I learned that, okay, first of all, you need to craft something and give them a value. And then how do you come up with the value? You can benchmark some other similar products, some other existing competitors. Like other people in this program, they will charge you like $30,000. But mine is different. I'm not going to charge you 30K. The question is that there are people in the room who are skeptical. They will ask you the question like, where do you find these people that are charging 30K? Can you give me some names? So by benchmarking with other people, there you would lose a group of audiences in the room because they need information to know who these competitors are, because they want to make comparison. It's not about what you say, it's about they want the objective factual comparison. So I found that in Singapore, if I were to just say, well, other competitors are charging you similar thing for $30,000, you lose at least 25% of the people in the room. Because you can't, unless you really want to disclose, which a lot of people would not, unless you disclose like this guy will charge 30K, this guy charge 35, like you do not want to attack other competitors, do you? Right? You don't want to do that. So I found that you lose 25% of the people by just benchmarking generally like other people will charge you this. It doesn't work. So I want to actually talk about something that is crazy. That is, you actually benchmark your own time. The reason why that works, because now you have established your rapport, you build the trust from your presentation, and when you make the offer, when these people are still in your room, to a large extent they have already trusted you apart. Okay, so they have already trusted you, or else they would have left the room already. So when you talk about yourself, like how much is it worth your time? How much is it worth in terms of like consulting you directly? So you can actually say that, well, perhaps you can say, I'm just giving you some example here. Well, normally when I do a consulting, I'm charging $10,000 an hour. Okay, how many of you are charging at $10,000 an hour right now? So if you do you have any website to back you up? Okay, so that's the key. So how many of you have actually charged $2,000 an hour, or for that matter $1,000 an hour? So then you got to see, okay, so if I'm actually working with you one-on-one, this is $2,000 an hour. If I were to work with you 2 full days, let's say each day I will be working with you for 4 hours, you work out the math. 2,000 an hour times 4, 8,000. 2 days, 16K. But since I'm not able to work with all of you one-on-one basis, I'm working with a group of people, I'm going to make it a very irresistible offer. You can still have my time, but all I'm asking you for is $1,000. So from 16,000 to 1,000. You may ask, wow. Okay, so if I want to hire him one-on-one, 16,000 for 2 days, or 8,000 an hour, 8,000 a day. And if I'm going for this group thing, the training contacts as a group, I pay 1K. It's easier for people to say yes. And now, because the value that you have just built up is objective, because it's factual, it's not something that you make up. It's not something that you say, oh, other people will charge this and that. That's a no-brainer offer. Of course, again, the premises is you have to speak to the right people and the offer is right for them. It is always the case, because without that, whatever I said would not make any sense. That is called irresistible. And sometimes in order for people to accept you for the very first time out of the gate, you would not want to charge a high price yet, because you want to give them a taste of who you are. So this is another thing you can do. So instead of charging 4 digit, now that works in Singapore pretty well. Instead of charging 4 digit like 1,000, like some people would say 997 is not 1,000, but 997 is like close to 1,000, but it's not, so it's still 3 digit. I'm not talking about that, because people are not dumb. 997 is 1,000, because you are talking about 2000 is 2020. We are not talking about like 1999 or 2005, where you can put a 997 to trick people that it's not 1,000. People have learned it already. So what you do is that you can actually talk about a low price offer. Now this is something that you may want to consider, and I have a client who actually used this principle and it created results for her. So she actually sells coaching, and she sold coaching for $1,000 for I think a few sessions. I don't know exactly how many sessions, because she just started. So $1,000, and then not everybody buy, honestly, because not everyone has trusted her a lot. So I said that, well, you can actually look at your offer, make it more irresistible by giving them an entry price. So let's say you look at your offer. If your offer for 1,000 has 5 items, and people cannot put $1,000 to you right now because they have not trusted you at the level that they're willing to fork out the money. Then the next thing is this: how many of you actually in that situation will then say, okay, this is not my audience, sorry, I back off, I go and find another person. You don't, because at the end of the day, you then ask yourself, okay, for 5 items, 1,000, can I make it more irresistible by giving the person 3 things instead of 5, 3 things for a taste, okay, and therefore charge the person $500. Can you do that? So my client actually took up this piece and then decided to do something called down selling. And then what happened is that she said, oh Jack, you know what, I spoke to like 5 people, like originally 2 people say yes to $1,000, but the other 3 didn't say yes. But because of what you have just told me, out of these 3 people who said no to me, 2 of them actually agreed to pay me $397 to have a taste of my training. That's good, awesome, because now you hook them $397 at the very entry level and do whatever you can to exceed the expectation, so that when you make an offer after the $397 cost, you now can actually upsell something bigger, because some people just need some more time to gain trust on you. So if you whack 1,000 and not everybody say yes, remember this, it's not that it's not irresistible enough, it is irresistible, but from the bottom of my heart, you have got a group of people who need more time to get to know you, so that you can offer them something more irresistible by dropping your price and offer a few less items. So if you have $1,000 for 5 things you are offering, you can actually do something for a fraction of 1,000, maybe offer 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things. So this is called working out your packages. You can make multiple offers, and there's a sequence and science of doing that. All I want to do in this video is to talk about how you can make it irresistible, how you are able to make offer that people cannot say no. Because the moment you understand this sequence and science, you begin to attract more people buying from you, and your job is to do well, make sure you really transform their life, create results for them, and they will become your raving fans, and they will be the ones selling without you being involved. Alright, so hope that this idea gives you, this video gives you some good ideas to work on. Irresistible offer, you want to make sure the values that you project can be proven, can be verified, not just something that you come up where people will not be able to identify the basis upon which you come up with the value. Alright, so thank you for watching. If you do have any other questions on speaking, training, facilitation, comment below. I would love to see what questions you have and potentially answer these questions in the form of future videos. Okay, so all good wishes, Jack Wong here signing off. I'll see you in the next video.